Welcome to Austin, Texas, and Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium, where the horns are up and this burnt orange crowd is ready to help Texas hook 'em. As we wind our way toward the end of another college football season, one of the grand traditions is paying tribute and respect to those who have just poured their souls into the success of this program and honor the seniors on Senior Day. As we'll see the #1 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on another team from the SEC, the Texas Longhorns. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. They'll try the run. That'll be a gain of 5 out to the 27. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
And that is an all-too-familiar sight. Listen, this team won last week, but they gave up 4 sacks. They got to protect this young man early in this game. Don't set the tone, and let's not go back to last week.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. LSU will bring the punt team on the field. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. And they'll down this ball just a little shy of the 50.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. So the offense keeps its drive alive thanks to the roughing the punter penalty. Trying to find his man on 1st down. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
So let's see if they can make up for that loss on 2nd down from the 18. He's looking to throw. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
And that's a really good start for this defense. But I tell you what, they're going to have more opportunities because they're going to throw the football a lot. They're in the top 10 in passing in college football for a reason. So this defense...
He unleashes a long one. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. Gets his first one of the day away, and that matches his total from that victory last week. They'll down this one right at midfield. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place trying to help their defense. Runs into a wall, they'll give him one out to the 8.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding him the ball so he can break some of those big runs, but I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
He makes the connection. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
Love the coverage and not giving up an inch defensively there. Third down, smothering the receiver. As soon as he caught the ball, down he went. They've got this offense pinned.
They're in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, and this is why you have a prominent jawline and an urgent resolve. They'll go for it. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
Well, that's about as risky as he can get as a head coach. Early in the game, fourth down, deep in your own end, and you go for it. Nice job offense.
And the Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. Direct snap. Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22.
And as an offense, having success on a run play like that early in the game just opens up all of the possibilities of your playbook moving forward. Play action, running the ball, throwing the ball, screens, anything is at your disposal.
And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. They've switched into the field, and we're ready to get things started here in the second. Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Finds his back in the middle. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. LSU will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. A low line drive and short kick. And this punt will be down just on the other. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Leaves it with the running back. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab on the left. And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps this drive moving.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Going up top on 1st down. Snags it over the middle. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
Now after the short completion, it's 2nd down. Give to the running back. Just couldn't get away from the tackle.
And I can't tell you how much I love seeing corners being willing to come up and tackle. That is so huge for a defense. You can't olay blocks and create space. You can't just hang out on the outside. You got to go set that edge.
And conversely, I can't tell you how much I hate it when receivers don't want to block. You got to do a better job on the perimeter. It's not going to be enough in this offense just to catch passes. You've got to go execute your assignment. That corner should have been blocked, and they should have gotten a bigger gain on that outside run.
This offense is completely confident in their ability to get 1 yard. They'll go for it on 4th down. Tackled after picking up the 1st down. Do you think that was a straight go, or they just sort of went with gut feel as to whether the defense was going to relax on that 4th and 1?
I don't know, but I know this. As a coach, I'm not giving a lot of freedom for gut will on the own side of the field if we're going to go for it on 4th down. I think they probably understood. Listen, it's 4th and 1. I like our chances to get 1 yard, and they went for it, and by the way, they got it.
The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. Got his man quickly. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. The Tigers are in the hurry-up. From the gun, running back gets to give. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the 1st down.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of him.
Ball's at the 25. They're in field goal range, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a 1st down.
Really nice job on 3rd down by this offense. This offense has struggled on 3rd downs throughout the season. Not even in the top 50, but you know what? When you make it 3rd and short, when you have the run-pass option and you're not predictable, you can be more successful. So let's see if this offense can continue to put themselves in good positions.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. Got enough space. Touchdown, Tigers. And they made it to the house when they found that 6 points waiting on them. There have been miniseries, novels. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They go to work in the 3rd quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the 2nd half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe chipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right. That pocket has been shaky, and if it continues to be that way in the 2nd half, this could be a much different-looking football game.
And LSU starting to get that passing attack cranked up.
And this is a unit that typically LSU is as good as they are at quarterback. We know they're going to be physical. We know they got athletes all over the field. But when they get really good quarterback play, those teams are really special.
Holding, offense.
That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. The offense set for a 1st down play. Here's the snap, looking to throw. They're working that left side. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game. But when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on third down. It's complete on the right side. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Defense is about learning the plays. Third down, what do they like to do? How do they do it? So far, the offense having a little bit of success, but the defense now, you got to figure out what they're doing.
LSU moving the ball quickly down the field. Wants to throw on first down. Back open in the middle. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
They'll line up for a second down play. The give to the running back from the shotgun. They'll give him maybe one on the play. It's down to the 20. This crowd will blow out a vocal cord to help this defense. Snap it to the back. And he's tripped up, but not before picking up the first down.
This is an offense that really sees their identity as being able to run the football. Nice job there picking up the first down.
Now the crowd responding in the red zone, trying to help this defense. Handoff from the gun. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. This quarterback part of their running game. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
And Artie, it's completely changed the game. Like now it's 11-on-11 football. The quarterback used to hand it off and stand there and watch the play. Now he's very much involved in the play. He's running the football so much, and even when he's not, he's making somebody go with him and cover him. So the quarterback scrambling, the quarterback running has completely changed the way people play defense.
They'll use the running game on first and goal. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Second and goal, and right in the teeth of this noise. Tries again to get it in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, LSU. Up and over, Yamo be there into the end zone.
And you don't want to leave your feet very often in football, but this is one of those areas where you do. In the end zone.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. Let's see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
Wide receiver now comes in motion. The jet sweep pass. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Complete out of the backfield, looking for the sticks. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. On 1st down, here comes this offense. They'll leave it with him. Barrels all the way to the 29, a gain of 6.
They've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, and there's certainly still plenty of football to go, but this is where you'd love to control the flow of the game, right? You want to dictate everything to the defense, and you do that by running the football. That was a really nice run. This offensive line is firing off late. Looks like they're getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is a good sign for the offense.
All right, so I know the defense is going to be aggressive, right? They got their stop. They forced a 3rd down. How aggressive does the offense want to be in response? Because if I throw the football, get a 1st down, I can run this clock almost out. This defense has to make a choice, but this offense, how aggressive do you want to be?
Well, it's 3rd and short. They're throwing for it. They just can't come up with that one. Setting up a big decision now for the head coach on 4th down.
Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. And they'll touch it dead at about... LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. The give to the back. Never underestimate the power of moving forward and creating breathing room. He's up to the 17.
And this is a pressing time for this defense. They've got to understand they're backed up a little bit. They're going to run the football. They don't want to make a mistake. So I think this is the time I'm a little bit more aggressive. I got to get this football back to my offense because I'm trailing. So I look for this defense to get a little bit aggressive.
Calls his own number. Tackle is made after the 1st down.
QBs that can run completely change your game plan. I mean, every single bit of it. You have to understand now as a pass rusher, I got to keep him in the pocket. I got to understand all the zone read concepts and the power read and the jet read, all the different things they can do to you. So, having a guy back there at the helm that can run the football, you better be alert of it from the first play to the end of the 4th quarter.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
after the productive first down play at 2nd and 6. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
LSU moving quickly, going to work again on first down. Trying to surprise him with the pass. Out of the backfield, he's open. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. We have arrived at the 2-minute warning, a one-possession game as this offense tries to hold on. The Tigers will snap it on 1st and 10. The give to the tailback. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Ordinarily on 2nd and 10, you might look past, but here you just want to keep that clock moving. He's looking to throw. Quickly complete. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now they've moved it just inside the 40. 1st and 10 from the 39. They'll go with a direct snap. Stop just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a first down.
That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing. You need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run when they're going between the tackles. This defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. To the ground, he's got it again. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down at 2nd and 6. Quarterback keeps it. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
That didn't bust for a long one, but now 3rd down becomes very manageable. It's not 3rd and eternity. Now the whole playbook, short passing game, long passing game, all of it's available.
This crowd knows this defense needs them right now. Direct snap. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down.
That is how it's done on 3rd down and short. No doubt about it. An easy hole to get through and clearly get the first down.
If you really want to simplify football, the low man wins. That time, the offense got the better of the D. Easily picked that up.
Defense has to be frustrated. The offense keeps matriculating and matriculating and matriculating the ball down the field. They'll immediately call timeout. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. From the shotgun, the inside give. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Timeout called by the offense. A mere 10 seconds to go in the game. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Trying to pound their way in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. They get the timeout call with 7 seconds left on the clock. A huge chance for points here on 3rd and goal, and if they can get it in, we might have ourselves a finish. They'll run the toss. That one did not go well. Tackled in the backfield for a loss of 6. This was hardly an offensive juggernaut, but sometimes you lean on your defense and grind out a win.
This was a defensive struggle, no doubt about it, but we know this is a team game, and the defense certainly did what they needed to do. The offense just barely did enough. That's the important part, and David, moving forward, they're going to have to play better on that side.
I think it looked more like an offensive struggle, not a defensive struggle. They definitely brought their A game, but listen, all you needed was enough points. Win, advance, build some confidence, find some things with this offense down the road that you do better.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.